Hi, it's Kathy from Audio Portal, and today I'm reviewing the book You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Jeneva Rose. You can listen to this book for free with a free trial that is pinned in the comments below. So, Jeneva Rose is a great thriller author that I've read several times, and so I figured I'd try this book. And I gotta say, overall, out of 5 stars, I would probably rate it a 2.5, a 3. It was not my favorite, but it's partially because I'm used to reading thrillers. Like I've told you guys, psychological thrillers are my jam. And this one was more of a romance. I'm not into romance. But about 3/4 of the book was about a relationship between the main character, Grace Evans, and a guy named Calvin. So the story starts out when you meet Grace, and she is a woman who travels alone a lot of times. They mention several times that she's on an eat, pray, love journey. And you find out that she ends up in this tiny little town in Montana by throwing a dart at a map and letting that decide where she's going to take her vacation. So she finds an Airbnb and she goes to the Airbnb. She checks in and she meets this guy named Calvin. Calvin is the owner of the Airbnb. And so you watch Grace and Calvin's relationship develop, and you watch them get to know each other. You watch them start to fall in love. And every time that something good happens for Grace and Calvin, something bad happens for Grace and Calvin, and something even worse happens for Grace and Calvin, and something even worse happens for Grace. And that's about 75% of this book is what's happening between Grace and Calvin. And things are okay between them. I wasn't necessarily rooting for them to work out. I didn't think they were going to work out. It mentions a couple times at the end of her stay how she decides she's going to stay with him. She's going to be there forever and this and that. I never really thought that was going to happen, to be honest. Throughout the whole story, I was seriously doubting that was going to be how it was going to end. And the writing leads you to believe that Calvin is this awful guy. He's lying about all these things, and Grace just keeps letting him off the hook and keeps letting him off the hook. And you can't really understand why. But you go through this 75% of the book learning about their relationship and seeing them fall in love with each other and spend more time with each other. She starts to meet his friends. She starts to meet his family. And everybody's just a little bit off. There's something about him that you don't trust. There's something about him that you don't understand. And so as you're going through the story, you have this look on your face the majority of the time because you just like, that doesn't seem right. That something's not right with that. I don't get why this happened. Why did you react like this? And on and on and on. And then Grace meets Calvin's brother, and things go really, really sour whenever she meets Calvin's brother. She also meets a girl named Charlotte, who you can immediately tell is all into Calvin and wants Calvin for herself. And that's a whole separate storyline that doesn't really fill out too much, but she does make an appearance several times. So when Grace meets Calvin's brother, things go really sour really quickly, like on a massive scale. And some things transpired where Grace is really struggling on whether she's going to stay with Calvin or not, or she's going to go home. And then the mystery and the thriller part kicks in. And I will say, after reading a lot of thrillers, I predicted about probably 75% of the last little bit of the book, the thriller, the mystery part. So it's not an unpredictable book by any means. It was a good book. It had good writing. Jeneva Rose is a great writer. I would recommend checking her out. I kind of use her as a palate cleanser between some of my more favorite writers, some of my more favorite authors. She does do a good job though. She weaves a good story. This book, like I said before, just wasn't my favorite. So I would say out of 5 stars, I give it probably a 3. It was average. The characters, for the most part, were pretty fleshed out. The main characters were pretty thoroughly explained. You learn a lot about their background. There is a super mega colossal twist at the end. If you're a regular thriller reader, you'll probably figure out that super massive colossal twist, though. It's not a blindsiding twist, but it is definitely a big twist that most thriller readers that don't have a whole lot of experience, like some newer thriller readers, would really enjoy. So, all in all, I would say it's definitely worth the read. It was a very quick read. I think I started it yesterday and finished it today. When I say read, I'm an audiobook listener. So I read it in 2 days. So I would recommend it. Thanks.